Hello, good evening, and welcome back. General election 2019, Boris Johnson's campaign claims fact-checked. Yes, so the Conservative, supposedly right-wing party in the UK, what are their claims? Spending, 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 spending! And then, one saying, we don't have to do anything. Oh my god, you're actually more individual. Well done. And the last one going, spending is bad. So, hang on. Have another look at points 1 through 4. But it's funny that the BBC is posting this, of course, because it's like, well, okay, so you're pointing out how much they're spending. Are you therefore saying it's a bad thing? In which case, yes, I completely agree with you. Well done. You're actually doing your job. You're holding the government to account. Well done. I am impressed. It's annoying you're only doing it about one party, or at least anybody who's right of left. But I'll take what I can get. And if you're saying spending is bad, then does that mean they're the lesser of the evils? Because that's how I view them, so maybe the BBC agrees. But I presume not. I presume they're just going with any negative that they can. Because spending is good, but managed to find the one thing where you shouldn't spend it on. Okay. But no, of course not. They're actually saying, yes, they're spending, but they're not spending enough. How are we supposed to be happy if we haven't got a massive deficit? So, number one, more police. 20,000 extra police on the streets, which makes up for the ones lost between 2010 and 2019. That's the idea. But, I love this. I like how the BBC phrased this. I suppose you could almost call this a dog whistle. It is not clear either whether all of these officers would be on the streets, or whether some would be allocated to other policing bodies such as the National Crime Agency, which leads the fight on serious and organised crime. Or what do you mean, as in online crime then? Hate crimes? Fighting Twitter, if you will? Is that the kind of thing you're getting at, but you know you can't say it explicitly? You know that saying it like this means that, oh, this doesn't sound so good, without saying, yes, they could be just locking people up for saying some mean words on the internet. Because, of course, that would alienate your readers. So, well played. But maybe I'm poisoning the well here. NHS funding. Johnson talked about the biggest programme of NHS investment in a generation. Yes, socialised healthcare by the Conservatives, go figure. Funding largely agreed by his predecessor Theresa May. The NHS would be getting more money, yep, £20.5 billion extra in real terms by 23-24. So they say the NHS's spending power has increased by 4% a year on average since it was founded between 2010 and 2018. It rose by 1.3% on average. Government's new plans will see it increase by 3.4% each year until 2023 to 24. They're increasing amounts. Similarly with education. So, new hospitals. Johnson talked about 40 new hospitals. Why do you need so many new hospitals if you leave the EU and people finally leave, considering that Britain's repopulating at below repopulation rate? It's like, yeah, maybe we can find that equilibrium and then we'll be fine. So, oh, but you need the young people to take care of the old people. Why? How many young people do you need for the old people? And why is that the case? Why can't old people take care of themselves, or their children to take care of them? What about the ones that didn't have children? They've got friends. What about the ones that didn't have friends? Well, they made their choice. I mean, and I suppose that's the main difference, isn't it, between the left and the right. The right says you're responsible for your own actions, the left doesn't. So, Mr. Johnson talked about 40 new hospitals. Yep, the money has been provided for only substantial upgrades to 6. A £2.7 billion investment. Christ. Everything really is more expensive when you let government do it. Another 34 hospitals have been given access to a share of £100 million to draw up plans for the future. The plans take so long, though, don't they? It's like new bridge held up by red tape. Hang on. School funding. It would amount to a 13-year real terms freeze by 2022. We'd invest an extra £14 billion in schools, which is year on year. So 2.6 billion, 4.8, 7.1, ending in 2023, which is the 14.5 billion. Free ports. This is a tax or tariff free, essentially. If you're just moving to a country, you don't have to pay the tax of the country you're residing in. The idea being that it creates jobs to the area, so you are getting money from them indirectly. Funny that. I wonder if you could make that a slightly larger idea. To say, yes, that if you stop taxing people so much, they'd have more money to spend on things that are important to them, and therefore they let the economy flow better because they make better decisions than the government, as is almost always the case. And then you've got to ask, well, what actually is the role of the government? I would say it's to protect the people, not to decide their lives for them, as it seems to now be, even with the Conservatives. So, good job. They're saying you can have some in the EU, they just make it bloody difficult. Labour nationalisation cost. So, Boris Johnson said Labour have an arranged plan to spend £196 billion on renationalisation. Yeah, renationalisation. You have a choice, basically. You either say it's nationalised, or you say you're going to lower regulations. Because of things that people say are natural monopolies, like trains, they don't have to be if you lower the regulations, but you make them become monopolies by having the regulations, because these monopolies can only exist through regulation. You need a bigger government for it. That's communism encourages monopolies. It's the government that owns it. But they say it's wrong. Labour government would pay a 30% premium above market prices to buy the companies, which Labour says is arbitrary, fanciful, and reflects the kind of profiteering the public ownership will end. So, you have something, you want it, somebody else values it, you go, no, I think I'll keep it. Lol, no, it's being given away now. So I have, but it's worth more to me than this price you're willing to pay. Yeah, well, we're taking it. That's government at its finest. But that's it, and obviously I'm freedom loving, and I would say, go do whatever you want to do. Be taken care of in your old age, or decide to tap out and kill yourself. I think it should all be legal. You can decide to be nice to people so they take care of you, or be mean to people so that you're lonely. That is the decision you make. But when you have people who don't understand they are responsible for their own actions, they end up taking it out on other people, and the government now decides that it wants to step in order to prevent the effects of that by saying, oh no, something bad happened, that can't be your fault, we'll have to take care of you for that. And it gets to a point where you can't do that, and unfortunately you can never find a balance, because you always have to keep going. So you just have to say, no, you're on your own, do whatever you want, don't hurt anybody, job done. But anyway, that's it for me for now. Do let me know what you think down below. You think, oh yeah, BBC actually being fair for once, or what that angle is. I'm always intrigued, but it's all hotting up now, just over a month to go. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.